Brock Lesnar's WWE return could be a few weeks away, so we'll see what the latest is there. We'll also check out who Bayley wants to join her and Damage Control, a popular fan theory for MMM, and more. Let's start things off with Brock Lesnar's WWE return. Every time we see Brock Lesnar in the ring, fans get worried because they don't know when will be the next time they'll see Brock or if he'll just quietly retire. That was the fear after both WrestleMania 38 and SummerSlam 2022, but it looks like a Brock Lesnar return is quickly coming up on the horizon once again. Brock Lesnar is now being reported to not only appear at Crown Jewel, but also compete in a match. For the large part of his second run in WWE, Brock has always been in or around the world title scene. But this may be the first time that he either competes in a regular exhibition match or even for a mid-card title, which is great news. Whenever you have a megastar like Brock Lesnar compete for a lower card title, it elevates that title and makes it feel even more important because of those big names that are coming after the title. Sort of like what John Cena did with the United States title in 2015. He became United States champion deep into his career, but elevated that title so much with constant huge matches and open challenges. It made the US title feel important. And ever since the Triple H regime came into play, a lot of focus and attention have been going towards the Intercontinental and United States title. With two great champions like Gunther and Bobby Lashley, along with great matches and bookings, those two titles, who previously felt like they meant nothing, all of a sudden feel very important again. So you already have that little elevation going on with those mid-card titles. Now, if you bring in a contender like Brock Lesnar into this division, all of a sudden, your mid-card title starts to feel like a world title and captures everyone's attention again. And that could be what happens here no matter what direction they may take Brock Lesnar in. If they bring him back for Bobby Lashley and the United States title, it actually works because there's a lot of history there between the two of them. Lashley and Lesnar met at Royal Rumble 2022, but there was some interference there in that match from Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Then at the Elimination Chamber, Bobby Lashley was written out of the match and couldn't properly defend his title against Brock Lesnar and the other competitors. So fast forward several months later, and Bobby Lashley is back to his dominant ways as United States champion. So does Brock Lesnar come to Raw to confront his old rival, Bobby Lashley, and challenge him for the US title, so that they can have another title match with no outside interference at Crown Jewel? It's most definitely possible. You can argue that there was some asterisks next to Lashley and Lesnar's first few meetings. So this match could settle everything and determine who's the better man, and put an official end to their feud from early 2022. So all that's very true. A Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley match for the United States title at Crown Jewel could basically be like a co-main event with Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, because that's a huge match and elevates the United States title immensely. Or Brock could go back to SmackDown and maybe target Gunther and the Intercontinental title. Gunther is off to one of the most dominant starts to an Intercontinental title reign that we've seen in quite some time. He's dominant, he's hard-hitting, impactful. He really seems like he can believably hang in the ring with Brock Lesnar. That's another dream match that could come true at Crown Jewel. So you may argue that Brock Lesnar should be in the world title scene, but a mid-card title run for Brock Lesnar actually seems exciting, and there's a lot of fresh dream matches that could happen there in that position for him. However, Brock is very unlikely to win either of those mid-card title matches if they happen, because his next appearance after Crown Jewel is set to be WWE's Day 1 event in January 2023. So that appears to be the immediate WWE future for Brock Lesnar. He's rumored to compete at Crown Jewel, Day 1, possibly Royal Rumble, and possibly WrestleMania 39 as well. So we'll have to wait and see what this return run could look like for Brock Lesnar this time around. There's a lot of popular fan theories out there that's actually great and makes a lot of sense. So let's take a look at everything around this theory. This theory revolves around MMM. The MMM faction had a little bit of a bumpy start at first. They kept delaying the debut. Max was pulled and replaced with Maxxine. Then Max was inserted back into the group a few weeks later, and now Max appears to be transitioning back to LA Knight. So the transition back to LA Knight may not be great for Max individually, but the future of the MMM faction is definitely in doubt once he eventually leaves. The leadership roles appear that it will be handed over to Maxxine Dupri, but how far could she really take the group, and will she invite new models into the faction? Well, who had one of the most popular model gimmicks and characters in recent WWE memory? That would be Tyler Breeze. In NXT, Tyler Breeze would come out with a massive selfie stick and stare at himself as he made his way to the ring, taking selfies of himself and even with other competitors after matches. Some fans feel like part of that selfie act was given to Austin Theory, but Breeze was still one of the very first superstars to use that sort of act. So Tyler Breeze is known for being a male model. That's exactly what MMM is and stands for. So could the keys to the MMM kingdom be given to Tyler Breeze? Could he inherit the MMM faction and take them for a ride as their leader? That's been the fan theory that everyone has been discussing ever since it was announced that Tyler Breeze will be making an upcoming appearance on WWE's The Bump. It's just a regular appearance on The Bump, but fans are already going crazy, wondering if a WWE return could be next for him. And that's where everyone came up with that theory of him leading the MMM after Max leaves. And it's pretty insane how perfectly that fits Breeze's character, and how that does seem like something that's extremely possible to see. MMM just popped up now in 2022, while Tyler Breeze has been in the same sort of modeling field since the early 2010s. So if anyone knows a lot about this field to elevate them, it's him. So it was a great theory by the fans. We'll just have to wait and see if it could ever happen in the future. Ever since Candice LeRae returned to Raw, we've been talking about how it may be a smart move for Bayley to add some more members to Damage Control. Well, during a recent interview, Bayley gave some names for the temporary Damage Control members that she'll like to have for a WarGames match. She had this to say, quote, "I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley. Doesn't seem like she has any fear right now, and I like it. And I'm going to take Tamina. Nobody meaner, and she has the most experience. She's got literally nothing to lose. I would much rather do WarGames." End quote. So there's a high possibility that Bayley's Damage Control faction will be involved with this year's WarGames match. But they're gonna need more than just 3 members for the match. So it'll be interesting to see who aligns themselves with Damage Control. But what are your thoughts on all of today's stories with Brock Lesnar's return, Bayley, and the fan theory for Tyler Breeze's return? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.